Welcome to Tea with History Conversations Across Time. I'm your host, and today we have two extraordinary guests from different eras, the Roman Emperor Nero and the surrealist artist Salvador Dalí. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us. Let's start with an easy question. How do you perceive art and expression in your own time?
Splendid question. For me, true art is the mastery of performance. The theatre, the poetry, and of course, fire. Smirks, it's rumoured I played the lyre while Rome burned, but that's an exaggeration. I merely saw it as an opportunity for rebirth. A blank canvas, if you will.
Nero, my dear pyromaniac, you are truly a master of the dramatic, but your canvas was too crude. Fire, you say? How mundane. I, Salvador Dalí, painted with the oils of dreams and the shadows of time itself. My melting clocks captured the essence of reality slipping away. Reality is an illusion, Nero. You simply burned it.
Well, Dalí, let's not forget that I was the emperor of reality. Dreams, illusions, those are but diversions. I could have ordered anyone to paint melting clocks if I wished. Besides, my performances left an impact, literally.
Oh, but of course, Emperor, and yet my mustache alone could inspire more art than your entire court. Art is not merely about power, it's about bending perception. In the surreal, we find the essence of the subconscious.
Speaking of bending perception, Salvador, your paintings often defied logic and reality. Nero, do you think you and Dalí have anything in common?
Oh, absolutely. We both understand that to be remembered, one must embrace the extraordinary. When I competed in the Olympic Games, I knew I wasn't the best charioteer, but winning was my right as an emperor. I brought drama, a sense of spectacle. It's what the people crave.
Yes, theatrics. But, Nero, I dare say your theatrics are heavy-handed. I preferred subtleties. You see, if you watch The Persistence of Memory, those clocks drooping over branches and ledges, it's not a scream but a whisper. True surrealism is like a gentle tickling of the brain.
Gentle tickling? I was an emperor, Dalí. A lion doesn't tickle, it roars. Why bother with whispers when you can command attention with an inferno?
Interesting contrast. Nero, you mentioned your influence as emperor. Dalí, how did you view influence in your work?
Influence? Influence is for the unoriginal. I am not merely influenced. I am a universe of my own. My only influence is my muse, Gala, and my own subconscious. Art must be unapologetic, untamed, and slightly mad.
I can appreciate that. My madness.
But there is a method to my madness, Nero. My subconscious creates landscapes of surreal beauty. And what did you create? Flames and ashes. You should have tried painting something besides chaos, dear Emperor.
Dalí, but in chaos, there is truth. While you twisted reality with brushes, I molded it with iron. I turned my empire into a living stage, and every citizen was part of the grand play. Not everyone can create a world of their own, you see.
So it seems you both have this relentless drive for self-expression, though in vastly different forms. Now, let's address the obvious. Many people have called you both eccentric. What would you say to those who believe you're a bit unorthodox?
Unorthodox? I am an artist, not a rule follower. My mustache alone defies convention. I painted a lobster on a telephone and nobody can stop me. Rules are merely suggestions to be ignored with style.
Rules? They are but strings for the puppeteer. I made my own rules and broke them whenever they displeased me. That's the privilege of an emperor, Dalí. My life was a performance without an intermission, and no critic could ever give me a poor review.
But alas, Nero, my dear tyrant, you needed an empire to fund your whims. I, on the other hand, turned my whims into a world where the strangest of dreams became my kingdom. I was adored as a mad genius, whereas you, well, let's say history remembers you quite differently.
History is written by survivors, Dalí, and I intended to be remembered, no matter the cost. But perhaps I'll give you some credit. There's a beauty in defying the ordinary, even if it means going overboard.
Gentlemen, as we near the end of this session, one last question. If you could leave one piece of advice for future generations, what would it be?
Simple. Embrace the spectacle. Life is short. Whether by choice or fate, make every moment a grand performance and never settle for mediocrity.
Indeed, but also never lose your absurdity. Reality is but a fragment of what we perceive. Embrace the surreal, challenge every boundary, and, for goodness sake, find a mustache style that defies gravity.
Thank you, Emperor Nero and Salvador Dalí, for this truly unique discussion. You've shown us the power of art, expression, and a little bit of madness. And thank you, dear listeners, for tuning into this extraordinary episode of Tea with History Conversations Across Time. Until next time, keep exploring the depths of history and the heights of human creativity.